Kick it on a laid-back vibe. Smoke a little, drink a little, party all night. Look up and see all the stars in the sky. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Now I ain't saying that it ain't going down in the city, cause I've been there when they turn it up. But if you need to unwound, slow down, come on out to my town, cause I know they don't do it like we do it in the country. Boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired of them big city lights, just catch your ride out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country. Drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't, do it like we do it in the country.
No, they don't do it like we do it in the country. It's something, catch you sitting out on the tailgate with some BG bumping. All them places that they don't go, we just ride around on them dirt roads. That Chevrolet stay skint back while I'm dodging all of them potholes. We ride slow, windows down, pulling up to that rowdy crowd. Bonfire, got country girls, got plenty drinks, so it's on now. That good smoke, that good shine, that recipe for a good time. So hop up in my truck and let's ride
like we do it in the country. Boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired of them big city lights, just catch your ride out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country. Drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't, do it like we do it in the country. You ever need to hit reset?
I just push pause,
I know a place.
and I know a way. So come on.
Do it like we do it in the country. Boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired of them big city lights, just catch your ride out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country. Drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't, do it like we do it in the country. They don't do it like we do it in the country. No, they don't.
What's up, y'all? Week 35 of End Zone Eats here at Pro Dreams. Thank you for Trey Ledbetter for letting us use your spot. We'll talk about an event you got coming on Saturday from 9 to 5 here at Pro Dreams. Big tent sale coming up, so y'all come check it out. It is on Burbank. Everybody around here knows where Walk-Ons is on Burbank, and it's in the same parking lot. It's between Modesto and Lit Pizza on Burbank in the Walk-Ons parking lot. If you come out here on Saturday between 9 and 5, you won't need to find it. Find Walk-Ons, look for the big tent. You can't miss it. There are some incredible things here at this Pro Dream Sports Memorabilia place. It's a card shop too. They are actually opening, the grand opening of the card shop, which is inside this building, is also on Saturday. So a lot of stuff going down on Saturday. I'll be at work in New Orleans, but if you are in town and need somewhere to go, come check it out. From a Super Bowl trophy, Lombardi trophy signed by Drew Brees, to a baseball right up here signed by Pete Rose. There's all kinds of stuff. Rob Gronkowski jersey. There's helmets. There's all kinds of stuff. You can get you a 225 Boosie jersey signed by Boosie for $225 right there. You can get that here at Pro Dreams. Thank you to Trey for letting us do this every Thursday night. But our guest tonight, the executive chef of LSU Athletics, Michael Johnson.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, welcome. I really enjoyed our lunch last week.
Likewise.
I honestly, I went in there because I hadn't officially met you.
Yeah.
I went in there thinking, Yeah, I'll 35 minutes, lunch, get out of there. And we were there for about 2 hours.
Yeah,
Uh,
good conversation.
Very good conversation, informative. A lot of stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah.
That I will talk about some of it today. But when you think of executive chef at LSU Athletics, it's crazy because that, to me, outside looking in, when you just think of that title, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's not the executive chef over football.
Right.
It's not the executive chef over baseball. It's all of athletics.
All athletics.
And there's, like we talked about the other day, there's a lot that encompasses athletics.
I wear quite a few hats. Yeah. And it's funny because there's the people who are close to me who have some understanding of what it is I do. And then there's other people who have no idea and they just think that I'm a cook. And, it's very, there's politics wrapped around it. There's repair work wrapped around it. You got to be a psychiatrist, psychologist, whichever doesn't write prescriptions. It's a big job and it's a great place to be. I actually just came from a performance chefs summit of the first of its kind in New Orleans this week and got to spend time around a bunch of other chefs, like-minded as I am. And it was pretty neat to, because those are people who do understand what the context of what we do on a daily basis is. So yeah, it's a cool job, man.
Yeah. So, what is actually your day-to-day job?
Yeah.
Or what do you do actually day to day?
Well, there's nose in, hands out work in the kitchen. I teach a lot. I oversee safety and sanitation, writing of menus, the production of the food. I do a lot of interaction. It's what I do is a lot about relationships. It's interacting with the guests. It's interacting with the athletes. It's, there's recruiting quite a bit, to be honest with you. Our nutrition center is a wonderful recruiting tool, and being able to talk about what it's capable of doing to potential recruits, regardless of the sport, has marketability to it, right? Like it on multiple occasions from multiple coaches, I've had them text or call and say, we just nailed that one. It was because the final straw was seeing the nutrition center talking with you. And, that's a big one to tout, right? It's impactful.
Absolutely. I saw online today, actually, an example itinerary of what a recruit does on a visit.
Yeah.
From leave their house at 9:45 at night on a Friday.
Yeah.
Sometimes after a high school game or whatever. Get to location at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then breakfast at 8, and like the whole thing. And it's pretty interesting from a outsider's perspective on what a recruit does. And it's not just football stuff.
No.
It's everything.
It's everything that encompasses the college experience, from tutors to classes to area of study and meeting going to that college of whatever college that it is. If they were chasing education or chasing engineering, they would go visit that college and some of the professors. They meet with training. They meet with performance nutrition. They meet with anybody and everybody that could potentially have contact with them and be impactful to them, so that they know, it's a machine, brother, and there are many cogs to it. And so you're they kind of come here to inspect the machine and see, that the cogs are well oiled and well greased and running smoothly. And most athletes want to know that they're going to get an opportunity here. And what does that opportunity look like, right? Yeah.
Welcome in, Dana. I see you in the comments. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, jump in the comments. If you got a question, throw it up there and we'll get it. Toward the end of the show, we're going to give away 2 tickets to Thomas Kane and Victoria Lynn at the Texas Club on June 19th. We'll talk more about Thomas Kane later. But stick around. You got to be in the comments to win some tickets to Thomas Kane and Victoria Lynn Texas Club, June 19th. Have recruits been straight up blown away by the, we don't call it a cafeteria.
Yeah, no, that's a four-letter word, right?
And the way that setup is.
Yeah. Truth be known, it just depends on the recruit. And it also had, NIL has impacted that. There have been recruits who've come in and the first words out of their mouth was, show me the food. And it's not, like those are kids who have been raised understanding that food is impactful in their productivity, right? And it's changed somewhat for, with NIL. Sometimes that's the beginning of the conversation now too, but there's definitely an excitement behind it. 90% of the kids, 90% of the recruits come in do want to know, and 110% of the parents want to know. And the performance, if you consider, if you're a parent, which I am, I have one about to go to college, one that's 16, one that just graduated college. And one of the things that you worry about is my kid eating right? Regardless of whether they're an athlete or not, that's a parental concern, right? So the parents come in and they're engaged. They want to see.
And some of these kids may not have had the lifestyle.
Absolutely not, brother. Yeah.
They didn't know where their next meal was coming from. And now they get to a place where the best food in the world is at your fingertips. It's paid for.
We've suffered through athletes with food insecurities. And it's a very sad thing to see. Mm-hmm. We had a guy that would only eat ramen noodles on game day because his stomach was so nervous. That was his comfortable food. And there's no nutrient in ramen. And I'm not talking about ramen noodles at the restaurant next door. I'm talking about ramen noodles off, in the plastic bag that you tear open and has the little dry pouch.
Water in it, put it in the microwave.
Yeah. And so we've seen all sorts of it. And for us, we have to meet the athlete where they are and build off of that. So there's a need to have a relationship with as many of them as we can so that we can build trust, talk about food, and see where we can make gains.
And that was the next one. Are there any superstitions certain players have with certain foods before each game? And you said one was ramen noodles. So what's another one?
Yeah, without speaking about LSU specifically, in my experiences, when I worked with the Mariners, the most superstitious crew of human beings I've ever worked with was a baseball club. Now, I know hockey is too, and specifically when you get into the postseason, right? Like
Ichiro might be too.
Oh God, man! I've been in the clubhouse and been like, "What is that smell?" And it's because they don't change their socks. You know what I mean? Or there's something weird. And whatever you fed us yesterday, you feed us today. And like if you have a planned menu out, a menu planned out for the next several days, and all of a sudden they're like, no, we want whatever we ate today. Don't change it. You go into scrambling mode to make sure that you have the food for them, right? So there's definitely superstitions wrapped around it, and it's so obscure about what it's going to be. You never know.
Right. So your upbringing, you mentioned Seattle.
Yeah.
So were you born and raised in Seattle?
No.
Or where did you start?
Yeah, I was born in BFE, Missouri, in the cornfields of Missouri, up near Fairfax, Missouri, which is close to it. It's so far in the northwest corner of Missouri that if you're going to Omaha, it's one of the last towns. My parents live in Rockport, Missouri, and there's a fireworks stand there on I-29 that everybody recognizes because it's one of the last things that you leave going out of Missouri into Iowa. We were 5 miles from Iowa, 5 miles from Nebraska, 9 miles from Iowa. So if you look at the map, brother, it's up there. It's in the cornfields and bean fields, and there's some farm-fed deer up there. But
so how do you get from middle of nowhere, Missouri, to Seattle to Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Brother, I tell people this all the time. I've been on God's plan. It really is, because I've tried to get out of chefing so many times. And I keep getting pulled back in. I was an aviation major in college and studied flying airplanes, and I flew airplanes for a couple of years. And I was putting myself through college, working in restaurants because that's what I knew. I've been working in food since I was like 14. I just turned 50 this year. So food has been a guiding light for me as well. Like God has found me this, and this job in particular. I was in Seattle, had been divorced. A lot of people have heard that story, but there wasn't any other jobs in Louisiana closer to my kids that was waiting for a chef that was at the Seahawks, right? That's not, there's not too many measurables there. And I knew the chef at the Saints, and he wasn't going anywhere. Chef Lenny is a great guy, but he wasn't going anywhere. And so I had applied for positions down here on multiple
And your
accounts.
kids were in Louisiana?
My kids were here in Baton Rouge, yeah. So I have been told you're overqualified more times than I needed to. And at this point, when I applied that time, I was like, I don't care what the money is. I don't care how overqualified I am. I'm going to, I'm going to convince somebody to hire me. And lo and behold, it was, it's interesting because in the concept of me moving to, from 2013 of being in Seattle, the concept of this performance nutrition center was being built and guided, and the brainchild of it was being built anyway, and they were designing it and all that stuff for like maybe longer than that, but it all kind of came to fruition in a moment where I needed a job here in Baton Rouge as bad as I could have needed it, right? I lived separately from my children for 5 or 6 years, and it was killing me. It was hurting them, and I needed to be here. And by the grace of God, brother, I found this job. And I say it found me, because it was a weird deal. I had a buddy. I put my resume in at 4:00 in the morning. I was in New York City, and at 10:00 in the morning, I had gotten a phone call. And at noon, I'm walking through the airport, and a buddy of mine, Drew Lord, calls me and asks me if I just submitted a resume to LSU Athletics. And I hadn't talked to Drew in probably 6 or 7 years, man. And I was like, what the hell is going on here, right? Like, how the hell do you know that I just submitted an application? He explains to me that, he and I had a common friend who was working at Athletics, and he wanted to know if he wanted to make sure my resume found it to the right desk. And I was like, brother, this means the world to me, right? I get goosebumps talking about it, and
I got them right now.
I came down and did I did an interview over the phone with a group of people, but then I came down and did what we call a practical. I cooked for like most of administration and a lot of coaches in LSU Athletics. I think there was like 30 people there, right? It was everything. It was everybody from Verge Osbury on down to coaches and strength and training coaches and all of the registered dietitians that were on staff there at the time.
How long have you been at LSU?
I moved here in April of 19. I just celebrated 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the AD at that time was
Scott had just gotten
Scott.
hired. Yeah. And he came from Washington at some point. He had experience in Washington and knew that we kind of had some common friends or colleagues through UW as well. So Coach O knew Pete Carroll, who was the coach up there, and I didn't work with Coach, but he knew who I was.
O and Pete were pretty close.
Yeah. So there was some interesting, and there was a phone call there that happened too, from my understanding, and I attribute Coach O as much as anybody for helping me get down here because it was him pushing to get the chef to travel as well, the traveling chef, and they were looking for somebody that could handle that capacity. And when they hired me, they told me that.
Speaking of travel, what's the craziest logistical challenge you've ever had feeding a team?
Well, I can't tell you, or I won't tell you where we were, or the hotel that we were staying at, but I can tell you this: it was coming out of, it was on the road, coming out of COVID in like 21 or 22. I don't recall the year exactly. It's been a few now, but we were in a Gulf state, and they were dragging heels, and you have to go into those situations in a non-threatening manner, and I was trying to do my best, but at 4 a.m. I showed up for breakfast downstairs to meet the staff and make sure everybody was clicking. And there was nobody there. And there was dishes, son, I mean to tell you, there was dishes piled as tall as my head in that kitchen everywhere. And I spent the first 2.5 hours of my morning washing dishes, getting utility stuff cleaned up. And Dr. Frakes, who was the dietitian at the time, came down there freaking out because I wasn't on the floor, which I'm supposed to be. And he's calling me, wanting to know where I am. And I'm not answering the phone because I'm sopping wet with
your hands are soaked.
Yeah, right. And so I ran outside to talk to him. He's like, what the hell is going on? I was like, bro, nightmare. And somebody else had come in and seen me in the kitchen, was like, Chef, what are you doing? I was like, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm trying to save us. And, like the last spoon went down in the on the plate where we were serving as Coach O walked in the room that morning. And I mean to tell you, brother, I pissed everybody off that day because I had to.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I've also had. I was at another place very close by to there, and had a young lady tell me, "I don't give a damn if the food's late. I'm an Alabama fan." And that one didn't go over too well with me either. Like we're supposed to be at these hotels where they're treating us professionally. But, in the SEC, it doesn't matter where you go. When you're on the road, there's some emotions tied around it.
Sure.
When we're playing Alabama,
there's fire alarms going off in hotel rooms.
Yeah, right.
All the things.
We usually stay at a neutral site when we go to some of these places. And it's interesting when we play Alabama, the Auburn fans are like, yeah, go Tigers, and like when we go stay in Mississippi and play Ole Miss or Mississippi State, there's always opposing fans that are cheering for us to cheer against the other team, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, usually they stay like somewhere like an hour or 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Just
we've stayed in Memphis before. We've stayed in Tupelo before, and we've had good experiences and bad experiences.
Stay on campus or down the street.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not too far.
I mean that other place is only 15 minutes from campus.
Yeah. Although on game day it's about an hour.
Yes, depends on what time you drive.
That's right. Yes.
Sometimes it's Burbank is an hour.
Right.
Depends on.
I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to get here today, to be honest with you.
One of our co-hosts who's not here tonight because his dad passed away yesterday. But he's going to be in the comments later. But he works in Port Allen, right across the bridge.
Yeah.
But he lives in Livingston.
Yeah.
So him coming on Thursdays, he leaves work at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
He ain't driving home to get here for 7. So he just ends up at walk-ons at 5:30.
I'm not mad at him.
and pre-games until it's time. So we always give walk-ons a shout out too, because I'm gonna get the GM over there on. We've talked. I met him at a couple golf tournaments, and this is a thing that started. This is week 35, so this is a thing that started week 1 of the football season last year.
Oh.
And I had no idea what I was saying.
Yeah.
And the internet didn't even work.
Yeah.
And I was on a different laptop, and it was a mess. And we got about 15 minutes of the whole show in that day because I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I wanted
it out, huh? Yeah.
So if you look at week 1 and week 35, it's completely different. I've gotten a new computer that actually works. My PC doesn't work, the streaming part.
Yeah.
So I got a Mac, and the Mac is spot on.
Yeah.
Because I don't do half this.
Yeah.
That's not mine. But I just know how to turn the volume on. They said, do you know there's sound effects and all kind of stuff? I said, sure.
I like that mixer. That's nice. That Rode makes good stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it probably does, but I don't know how any of that works. But funniest or most memorable athlete food request?
Food. Memorable. We used to do Taste of Homes, and for the Polynesian guys, we did a luau style Kahlua pig, which was really cool. That was awesome. Most memorable, last year for the Florida game, the director of ops and I went down on a Monday night. We went bow fishing with the United Cajun Navy, and woke up the next morning and went gator hunting and killed a 9-foot gator and brought it back so that we could have gator meat for the game. Now you have to understand that if we lose the game, we're not pretentious in the matter that we cook the gator before the game. We wait and feed them the gator for the victory meal on Sunday. So there is some ifs, ands, or buts there, but that was not too many folks go to the swamp, kill a gator, bring it back, and so
the people here, they go to the store that has gators.
That's right.
It's frozen already.
Yeah, right.
All they have to do is season it.
Yeah.
And put it on the grill, because at Chris's Specialty Foods we sell those.
Yeah, right.
And actually, Rodney Beloso, another co-host of ours.
I know Rodney.
He's usually he's in Dallas for work today, but he's cooking a gator for Senior Day.
Okay.
This weekend for LSU Florida.
That's awesome.
And we were talking logistics on how I was going to get him an alligator from New Orleans, which I have in my store, and how that works out. But talking about seasonings, this camouflage looking seasoning on the corner right here, it's called Bayou Bussin'. It is from OnlyPans. OnlyPans is
I like it.
OnlyPans is a friend of ours, co-host, but she's never here because she runs a plant and work calls her
Understood
in Texas all the time.
Yeah.
But she's in the comments. She says, "Do you use any Cajun seasonings on the daily? If so, are they the local blends? And if so, which ones?"
We pretty much construct our own most of the time because there's an absolute need, one, to be diverse with your seasonings, right? Now, that's not to say that we don't have seasonings at the tables that, it's the normal ones. I mean, we've got a dozen hot sauce and a couple of different types of spices out there. But when it behooves me to, I have to teach my chefs how to mix those spices and blend those spices. And not only that, we don't want to have redundancy there. We don't want to have the same spice mixtures on a day-to-day basis. We want to have different tasting foods so that it keeps, you come to the nutrition center day after day after day, meal after meal after meal. If you're eating there 3 meals a day, 5 days a week, you don't want to eat the same food day in and day out. You don't want to have the same season taste. So we do construct a lot of our own seasonings.
So that's Miss Brandy and her OnlyPans line. She has I would say 3, but now she just came out with this Bayou Bussin' one right here. That's 4.
I like it, man.
4 seasonings and some salsas. Her seasonings are WAP, which is wild all-purpose.
Okay. I thought that was a slur towards Italians, but that's good.
And then a no filter, which is more like a dried Trinity type.
That's suitable too. Yeah.
And then she's got the BJ seasoning, which is bacon jalapeno.
Okay.
But and then her salsa at the bottom, it says too spicy or spicier than your ex. And her slogan is,
I don't know about that.
Her slogan is put some salt in your mouth.
I like it, man.
And so she's actually had a couple of places turn her down because her logo was a little too provocative.
Yeah.
But she also sells it.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And it's she brought us some food when she wasn't in Texas one time, and it's incredible. I use a lot of her seasonings too, but I only use local seasonings of people I know.
Yeah.
Because in that market, who uses Tony's and other stuff, whatever, locally, I can find 12 that are.
So for us, the right spices have to be high quality spices and sourced relatively new, because as you know, in the spice business, if it sits too long, it's dehydrating, it's losing moisture, like some of those spices are volatile where they lose their macros and micros. And so having high quality spices is important, man. You can't overlook it. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And she says, thank you for answering. Thank you for joining us tonight.
No, thank you for having me. And I like your products. I like the brand labeling.
And then Hot Rod Rodney Beloso now has a absolute full line of products, from Creole barbecue rub to Creole barbecue sauce to garlic butter, which is garlic butter.
Okay. Yeah.
His jambalaya mix. He has biscuits. He has seafood boil. He actually cooked the crawfish at my crawfish boil last weekend.
That's awesome.
With his seafood boil. Tequila lime. He's got a whole. I think the garlic butter is on display, but he has a whole line of stuff.
Great guy too, man.
Unbelievable.
Great family.
Unbelievable. I've known Rodney for a long time, and Brandy says, appreciate the love. Joe Kersey in the comments also is the guy I was speaking to you of, whose dad passed away.
Okay.
And he said he'd be on tonight, but not on video.
Understood. We appreciate it. Yeah.
But he's the one that he has LP Hat Company.
Okay.
So he created the
I like them.
Our hat is that black one right there,
Yeah.
the Enzo Meats hat. But he does hats, and he did Hot Rod's hat right there.
I had a particular liking to that one. It's a good brand right there, man.
He does hats, koozies. We did a Marty Rayburn from Shenandoah was in town this past weekend on Friday night, and he did some koozies that we threw out into the crowd with my logo on one side, his on the other. Chase Tyler, a local artist, logo on
Everybody
one
loves a koozie, man.
Oh, and we threw 150 koozies out,
Yeah.
and that was a pretty cool experience. Getting Marty Rayburn some product.
Yeah, that's cool.
What a great dude and a legend. Shenandoah is an absolute legend.
Yeah, for sure.
That is Joe Kersey with his hats and his brew spoons and his cutting boards, logo cutting boards, and
Those are some sexy spoons, man. Dang.
he put your logo on a spoon, and he's put recipes, like family recipes, on a cutting board
Okay.
that you can put on display in your kitchen.
That's a sharp idea, man.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different stuff that he can do, and it's blown up lately. You get in with the right people, and a couple of artists. He did a hat for Thomas Kane, who was the song that was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Thomas did one of the LSU pregame on the stage.
Yeah.
And he wore it that day, and the next day had like 50 orders. And like it just
That's all it takes, huh?
And sometimes it's all.
What's that hat he's wearing? Yeah.
It was one that said STDD on it, is what it said. But it blows up.
Again, it's all about the branding.
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
And nobody else in the country knows what that says.
Yeah.
But
Man, I'm a hat guy, and as a hat guy, you see somebody walk around with a cool hat you've never seen before, and you're like, hey, bro, where'd you get that hat at? Yeah.
This is Kyle Stewart from Southern Rollers. We used to have a coffee mug of his, but I gave it to Heath Schroyer when he was here.
Okay.
So I haven't gotten with Kyle to get another
Yeah.
one. Because we give guests that come in some seasonings and product just as appreciation to coming in, because I can always get some more of that.
Sure.
I know a guy.
Yeah, right.
Where all
Yeah.
that comes from. But Kyle is in a wheelchair, and his business is based around proving people that just because you're in a wheelchair, you can't go do the things in life you want to go do.
Amen, brother.
So he went on a turkey hunt from our guys, Southern Boys in Hammond, and he shot his first turkey.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's a lot of different stuff that.
You know how many guys I know that hunt turkeys have not shot turkeys?
And so Kyle actually does some editing on some of my videos.
That's
He's
cool.
really good at that kind of stuff. But Kyle's he was actually here in person whenever he came in that night.
Yeah.
But he joins us all the time, and he's a great dude, and he supports us. This is my brand, Bayou Brothers.
Yeah.
We started a thing with realtors not too long ago, giving gift boxes as closing gifts, because I talked to a few realtors, and they said they spend about $50-ish for closing gifts. And what's what's a thing you might need in your kitchen when you get a brand new house besides
Amen, brother.
seasonings and stuff to put in your
You
kitchen?
guys have enough stuff there. You could do a monthly box.
And so we've been working on stuff
Yeah.
about subscription.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with ChatGPT
Yeah.
earlier on
Yeah.
logistically how does that work,
Yeah.
and it gave me a 37-step plan on
Yeah.
exactly what to do. So we're
Need to
might
get
be
that down to about 10.
But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff we're working on. We just released another hot sauce, our second hot sauce, which is the Thomas Kane hot sauce, which is a garlic cayenne hot sauce.
Yeah.
We're actually working on a new product that's going to come out somewhere right before football season. I'm actually working on it on Sunday. It's going to be a wing sauce.
Yeah.
But we're working on a few recipes to test out. I got a group of people coming over to my house Sunday,
Cool.
so I can guinea pig with them.
Yeah. I was, I don't know where you source from, but I spent some time with this company, Louisiana Pepper Exchange, and they import mash from all over the world. And it's good quality mash that they'll help guys like y'all build hot sauces, and they use really good ingredients. It's a common theme. And I love how I don't know about the rest of them, I'm assuming so, but I love how the other day at lunch, you were explaining to me all the ingredients that you were putting into your stuff. And that's important, man. It's important to support the local environment. It's also important to support, the local businesses and, those good quality ingredients.
Yeah. So a lot of us are about as local as we can get.
Yeah.
And like I had my stuff bottled in Mississippi
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
But when I found out about the stamp that's certified Cajun,
Yeah.
I quickly found a place in Louisiana.
Yeah.
I use Parish.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
I use Parish
Yeah.
in Rank, and they do my barbecue sauce. They're gonna work on a couple other things that I'm working on. Somebody else does the hot sauce, but the barbecue sauce is done by
Yeah.
Parish.
Yeah.
And so it's been a good relationship. And I actually left him a message today saying, "Hey, we're about to start working on some new stuff."
There you go.
Because right around football season is the time summer's kind of everybody's out of town and it's 100 degrees outside. So why are we cooking outside at 100 degrees?
Right.
So once football season rolls around, now you're hitting the
That's hot
tailgate
sauce
circuits
season.
and
Yeah.
hot sauce,
yeah.
wing sauce,
Warm it up
barbecue
a bit.
sauce,
That's
all
right.
the things. So yeah, so that's something to look forward to coming up. We have a wing competition in Hammond on May 30th. So we're gonna kind of not debut it, but see how that works over there. And then if that goes well, we'll hopefully bottle it by the beginning of football season. This is Lafitte's Pickles. They are the best pickles in the world.
Man, there's a few things I like as much as pickles. I'm telling you.
And so I will get my boy Joey Fletcher and the boys to send me a package so
Okay.
you can get you some pickles.
Yeah.
They're at Walmart. They're at Rouse's. They made it into some pretty big places. They have a candied jalapeno.
Oh,
They have
man.
a jalapeno relish. They have pickles.
Candied jalapeno is one of my favorite things on earth. We put candied jalapenos in our egg or tuna salad, potato salad, all that kind of stuff.
And I gave away the whole bottle that I had, and then I had some pickles in here, but I brought Trey, the guy who owns the place, in as a guest one time, and he tried one, and the bottle disappeared. So apparently they were good, but I gave mine away, and so now I
Yeah.
have like part of a bottle left,
Yeah.
but it still does the job.
Time to re-up.
But yeah, so they're in West Monroe.
Okay.
What I like about them is they have a scripture on their bottle.
Oh, come on.
So they're it's a Proverbs verse, but they're really great people.
Yeah.
And he comes down. He's coming on the show at some point, but being in West Monroe, you got to make a trip.
That's a little bit of a trip. Yeah.
That's not I'll see you Thursday
That's
night
right.
type thing. But his stuff is all over the place, and it's a great company to partner with, especially being a barbecue guy. Having pickles on barbecue sandwiches is a good combination. to have.
For me, the acidity of a pickle contrasts anything. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, if you have a burger, if you have a chicken sandwich, people I work with know, like pickles are a big part of my life, man. You got to have a pickle on it, man.
How much does Louisiana culture influence LSU athletics dining?
Every day, so much. I mean, we buy our cows from Louisiana. We buy our rice from.
And we talked about the vegetables and how that worked.
Yeah,
you buy local,
so
local as you can be.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Louisiana vegetables. It's not just about buying from Louisiana people and being local. It's also about the nutrient density that comes from a vegetable that was harvested 50 to 100 miles away and is coming to you within a couple of days rather than having to spend 2 weeks on a refrigerated truck. When a vegetable is put onto a refrigerated truck, most of the time it's picked before it's ripe and it's been harvested underripe and then stored in refrigeration. Because it's underripe, it hasn't fully nutritionally developed, and then they ethylene gas it. Ethylene gas is not something harmful. It's a natural product of a rotting piece of fruit, and as it ages, it develops and releases more gas, and it breaks down or ages the whatever it is, the piece of fruit or vegetable. So it's a natural process. But what's not natural is harvesting them young. You don't have the full nutrient density in it. So we're buying a lot of fresh local fruits and vegetables because we want the nutrient density. If you eat a cup of spinach that's from Lord knows where, California, what we'll say, if it's coming fresh, when you get it from Arizona, California, Mexico. But we can buy fresh spinach and we can buy fresh greens from Bell Chase, and they came out of the ground or were chopped, from the ground yesterday. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a living plant, from the moment you harvest it, it starts altering, it starts depleting. And so the longer it's on the shelf or in the bag or in the refrigerator, the less nutrient it's going to have when you ingest it.
Can fans recreate any of the meals that athletes eat?
Sure. I mean, here's the thing is people are always asking me about recipes. It's funny because I breed creativity in the kitchen. I don't want to have food jags that are, our athletes are only eating burgers or our athletes are only eating steaks. We create dishes. This summer, we're going to wash the entire menu and start over again and lay out an entirely new menu, because for the past 7 years, we've been recycling 8-week menus, and every 8 weeks it changes. And we just want to take a good, fresh look at what we're doing. There's nothing particularly special about what we're doing. What's special is, we monitor what's going into the dishes. We're reducing the bad fats and reducing the bad sugars and trying to, make good, healthy Louisiana food. Let me rephrase that. We're trying to make
healthy Louisiana.
We're trying to make
what is that?
Familiar, comfortable Louisiana food healthier, right? And there's the kick there. There's all kinds of things that you can do when we're pulling butter out and using canola or using olive oil. We don't use refined white sugar. We use other sweeteners, and a lot of people argue about that. That sugar. But if it's coming from a fruit, or if it's coming, it spikes a little bit differently and tapers off a little bit differently. But we're not making ground-changing recipes. We are investing our time and energy into the people who are making the food so that it's good quality and executed well, and the products that we're putting into them so that we know that they're the right products and good quality products. We don't use highly processed foods. People ask about, it's been put into a bag or it's been put into a box. That's a process. Yeah, that's a process. Going to the bathroom is a process, right?
Sure.
But when you have things that are canned or have had additives added to them or have been mechanically changed, the more it's processed, the more likely it is not to be healthy for you.
Speaking of health, what should young athletes eat more of?
Depends on the athlete, right? Fruits and vegetables, though. young athletes tend to want to eat meat and potatoes while they're growing. And we have a real struggle with vegetables. Vegetables is where the colorful parts of the dish are important. Fruits are important. Start your day with fruits. Have your vegetables with lunch and dinner.
Yeah, my grandmother always told me I had to have something green on my plate.
Absolutely, man. You need to have fiber in your diet. When you're ingesting sugars, it's best to have fiber there so it slows down the absorption in the body and it doesn't spike as hard. It doesn't fall off as hard.
On the reverse side, what should one food athlete should they avoid before competition?
Well, before a competition, you want to stay away from foods that are going to disrupt your stomach. You want to go with comfortable foods that are soft on the stomach, easily digestible, not a lot of fats, not a lot of spice. It sounds funny, beans are not a great idea because you don't want to be gassy and bloated. You want to have, carbs for carb load. You want to have fruit and vegetables for the sugar from the fruits help you get your energy up. The carbs help maintain it. The proteins play their part. Even if you have some fats in there, it depends on the fat, right? But for the most part, we lean away from the fats just leading up to a game, right? There's definitely better things that you can put into it. But specifically, we're not going into deep fried foods on a game day. You know what I mean? We're cooking lean muscle meat, whatever the creature is. We have spaghetti and rice, both depending on where they come from. Red sauce versus cream sauce. And even the red sauce, I'm particular about the tomatoes that we put into our sauce because it needs to be low acidity. We use San Marzano tomatoes because they are low acidity. You don't want to just be putting fresh acidic tomatoes or tomato pasta into an athlete. You might be seeing it back.
Have you ever cooked for game day? Game day always has those food segments where sometimes you're cooking a gator or something like that.
I haven't. Game day's a show. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
no,
on Saturday.
Oh no. I haven't.
But you're in game mode.
To be honest with you, game day this year I will be with the team every home game. That it hasn't been that way every year. It's something that Coach Kiffin's staff has asked me to be a part of because he believes in what we're doing. When Dr. Frakes and Coach Kelly was here, and we went to a new hotel, and so I was a part of game day. But truth be known, game day is one of my few days off historically, a home game, because I travel to away games. I spend the weekend with the team
right
there. So you're working 7 days a week. Historically, a home game would be watched from the couch, or I would be out fishing, just to be honest with you, be at the camp with my brother fishing and watch the game, after the fishing.
Now you
stuff.
have to have a different off day.
I know.
You have an off day?
I don't know. That's just part of it, brother. I'm passionate about what I do.
No,
My kids.
if you like what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Absolutely, brother. I was reading something today about the 4-burner stove, and there's truth to the matter. Successful people have this struggle. You have family and relationships. You have your job and that success. And I don't recall what the other two are off the top of my head, but you can't have all 4 burners burning on high, right? That'll cause burnout. So efficiencies is one of them. But this 4-burner stove says that, when you're in a position like I am, if you want to be good at what you're doing, something else is going to have to be turned lower. And I do that during football season. I got to turn the burner up at work during football season and during baseball season. And at certain times during the year, during gymnastics or men's basketball or women's basketball, but it's not all the time, right? And so there are times of the year where you can turn the burner down and focus on family, and you can focus on other things. You can focus on spirituality,
Right.
which I think is absolutely necessary as well. Your life has to have balance.
Absolutely.
But for football season, it's turn that sucker up and we burn.
So if you were doing a demonstration on a TV show or something similar,
Yep.
and you could pick whatever you wanted to cook,
Yeah,
what you cook?
it's going to have some fish in it, man. I probably just caught it. You know what I mean? There is something special about or hunting and killing, you know what I mean? But I have a particular fondness for fishing, and a lot of people know that about me. it's snapper season, so my head is in the Gulf right now. You know, like I saw a snapper 2 days ago, and I was salivating looking at it. Right. I've been on shrimp boats. You know, I love what Louisiana has to offer as far as seafood is concerned, and it's definitely going to have some seafood in it. Yeah.
Have you cooked a specific meal for Coach Kiffin? And if so, what was it?
Yeah, he's a real regimented guy, and he's a super clean eater. He eats within some degree. He eats the same breakfast every morning, and it's super healthy. I don't want to share too much about him because you know what I mean. General, like I don't like sharing all of it, all of that kind of insider stuff. But sure. He's a very healthy eater, man. He's very conscious about what he puts into his body. He and I are the same age, and you know, like I probably have 40 pounds on him. So believe me, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, man, I need to practice what I'm doing here, but he's a super clean eater. Every once in a while, he wants some meat and potatoes. Every once in a while, he just wants, you know, good clean chicken breast. But I'll tell you this, he does appreciate what we do, and it's always good to be appreciated.
And it's all about the alignment that they talk about.
Yeah.
If from the athletic director from the coach to the athletic director to the president, you're in that alignment too. Yeah. Because if you don't do your job.
Well, I got to say, it's not just Coach Kiffin. You know what I mean? Like, it's his staff. Everybody comes in there grateful, and grateful's important, brother. You know, like I have to wake up grateful every morning. It helps me do my job well. They're grateful for what we do, and that gives us the confidence to go better about our job and challenge ourselves and do more difficult things with you know, our career.
A little quick rapid fire segment.
Good.
Best late night Baton Rouge food.
Oh, I don't know. My house, my refrigerator.
Favorite game day snack?
Wings and cold wings. Like I'll buy wings and chill them off, put them in the refrigerator, and eat them cold purposely.
Steak or seafood?
Man, yeah. I mean,
we just talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, if I'm in Missouri, it's steak. If I'm in Louisiana, it's seafood.
Gumbo, jambalaya.
Gumbo.
Best meal you've ever cooked?
That's a tough one, man. I think one of my favorite meals I ever cooked, and this is so funny because it was for a child. I was at the Olympics in 2010, and there was an athlete that was competing in the Olympics, and his father there. Actually, it was a she. Her father was there with their family, and they were running late for opening ceremony, so they missed the meal. And the wait staff came back and asked if I could produce them something, and so I made this family, father and a couple of kids and wife, some southern greens with some some veal base in it, and I put some grilled oysters on there and some pork belly, and there was I think it had some not halibut, but I think it had some saberfish, which is black cod up there. And that father came back and said, I don't know what you just fed us, but my son ate the whole plate. And he was like, my son doesn't eat the whole plate. You don't understand. Like, he is one of the most finicky eating kids I've ever had. And that boy just ate the whole plate. Kudos to you. So you would think that it would be something more important to me, but that was one of my most memorable moments.
And favorite athlete reaction to it?
Gosh, that's a tough one. We've had quite a few, right? Braden Fehoko really enjoyed the luau, but Joe Burrow enjoyed our taste of home for him. We had a couple of girls. We did a taste of home UK and did some British food, and they came in tears, not because they didn't like the food, but because we had reminded them of home, and they hadn't been home in a while, and they were in tears of joy. And
did you do some Australian for my boy Bradley?
I haven't, but we will, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't get hung up on what we make. I get hung up on how we make it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do you hope LSU athletes remember most about the meal and the experience that you provide them?
I hope that they remember how to eat right, and carry that and teach other people how to eat right. That's the legacy there. It's not just this isn't about me at all, brother. This is about teaching people how to treat their bodies better. And that's coming from a guy who really treated his body poorly for a long time, and being around it and being part of it there, like I have found myself preaching and not practicing. And so, I just found out I was type 2, and now I have to look at myself and practice what I'm preaching. And I want the athletes to remember that, like carry it through, teach your kids. Everybody needs to eat healthy. There's not a lesser important human being that doesn't deserve to have a healthy meal.
And which athlete would make the best chef after their playing career?
Gosh, that's a tough one. I've had a couple of them that really enjoyed cooking. Marcus Dumerville was really engaged in cooking. I got a couple of guys that will still text me, like, "Hey, I got a date I got a date tonight. I want to really impress them." Ali Gay really enjoyed cooking, and it was kind of neat because Ali specifically requested barracuda one time, and he knows his food, brother. He knows his food well, and we brought the barracuda in, and I was going to cook it, but a barracuda over a certain size is a dangerous thing, because it is, once they get over like 24 inches or 30 inches, they're very prone to having ciguatera, and ciguatera is a toxin. It's a foodborne illness that is a toxin, and it doesn't just, you can't take medicine to get rid of it. You have to let the toxin take its course. And I didn't want to poison Ali Gay, so I had to break his heart and tell him we weren't going to do it. And he was totally disappointed, man, because I had that barracuda in the kitchen. He came back and saw it, and he was so thrilled, but yeah, it was too big. I was just not comfortable doing it.
You ain't taking that risk.
No, I'm not, man. I'm not.
Not taking that risk. Well, we're going to do what we do every week and talk about the current events coming up pretty soon. June 6th in Central, at Cooking in Central, there will be a Bayou Country Business Expo. My friend Adriana Austin is putting that together with local vendors, networking, food trucks, live music. Chase Tyler will be there. Connor Martin will be there. Stone Sober will be there. Our Bayou Brothers tent will be there. It's just basically a festival that is supporting small business.
Yeah.
And that was her whole idea.
Yeah.
Everybody is as local as can be. And it's just a networking event to sell your products, yes, but also to get to know other people in the area. This is her first big event to put together, and it's going to be pretty big. June 6th in Central. June 13th, Joe Kersey and Team Kersey Outdoors, LP Hat Company, is putting on a fishing rodeo for kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a free fishing rodeo at Lakeside RV Resort in Livingston. It's the first annual from 7 a.m. to 11 at the Lakeside RV Resort in Livingston. Free fishing rodeo for any kids that want to come. 17 and under. There'll be raffles, vendor spots, sponsored by Team Kersey Outdoors. I don't think I will personally be there because I have a lot of events that weekend, but we did help sponsor the event. So we have 250 water bottles with our logo on it.
That's cool.
So we sponsored the water for the event.
Gonna have a bunch of grown men shaving their mustaches.
But that's going to be a pretty cool event from 7 to 11. I'm helping sponsor a softball tournament that weekend that I'm actually playing in.
That's really cool, man.
But yeah, this is one thing about Joe is his heart is huge when it comes to helping others, and this is a pretty cool kids fishing event. It's free of charge. Anybody can go. Just be at Lakeside RV Resort June 13th from 7 to 11. Pro Dreams right here is having a tent sale this Saturday from 9 to 5. There will be all kinds of memorabilia here at a discounted rate, up to 70% off some of these things. Huge deals. Also, the card shop is having their grand opening on Saturday from 9 to 5 as well. Come on in, check out all the different cards, the memorabilia, all the different stuff you can find. You can buy a helmet here, $800 helmet that I'm sure will be discounted as well. and you never know whose signature is going.
I love the mystery box idea.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
Every time I come in here, I look at them. I'm thinking, maybe one day I'll have $800 to buy them.
The curiosity kills you. You know what I mean? Like you got to have one, man.
And so, yeah, I will eventually get one day, but it may be under a tent sale when it's on sale. My boy Josh Austin is actually debuting his catering situation. It's not a catering company, but it's called Podcastt Cuisine. He is debuting his business at the Bayou Country Business Expo in Central. His daughter is actually the one putting it on. His idea is he's going to cook your favorite menu, but have it in frozen bags.
Okay.
So that way you can go home, pull one out the freezer, boil 15 minutes, and you're good to go.
That's awesome.
Jambalaya, spaghetti, green bean casserole.
Yeah.
He's got a whole menu on the right side. If you're on a computer, you can probably see it better than I can from way back here.
We actually do that with the athletes to some degree. We will meal prep our food and put it in a blast chiller and chill it down and then make it available to them because people's lives are busy, man. It's a great idea.
And so he's always been one to cook for everybody, for events.
Yeah.
And he was volunteering cooking for a lot of events. And we told him one day, hey, bro, why don't you make some money?
That's right. Yeah.
It's good that you volunteer for every event,
Yeah.
but Podcastt Cuisine, he's out in Central as well. I've had his food. It's some of the best food I've had. And if I had an event, he'd be cooking for it. But Josh is a great dude. Him and his wife Brandy, putting that together. He's got desserts, sides. His sides are fixings worth fighting over. His proteins, all kinds of different things. Check it out. Follow him on Facebook, Podcastt Cuisine, and Josh Austin, and support him just like we support every local business. Thomas Kane. We had just released a Thomas Kane garlic cayenne hot sauce. We partnered with Thomas. We were just winging it last night on Old Jefferson. And tomorrow night he will be at Live After 5 in Ponchatoula at 7. Saturday and Sunday he'll be in Ridgeland, Mississippi. But if you go to that QR code on the screen right there, it'll send you directly to my website. And not only to the website, to the part of the website where you can buy his garlic cayenne hot sauce, $10 a bottle. We debuted it last Thursday, and we've sold 45 bottles.
I bet you have. That's a good looking bottle, man. That's. I like the label on it.
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
It's right there.
There you go.
Garlic cayenne.
Oh, that's a guitar. Yeah.
It is. It's called Little Bit of Fire because, well, one, it's hot sauce.
Yeah.
And two, he's got 2 songs. He's got a bunch of songs, but 2 of his songs, one is A Little Bit of Crazy.
Yeah.
And the other one's called Fire. So it's a mix of 2 of his songs.
It's got a pretty body to it, man.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's going to be part of the wing sauce that I'm working on.
That makes sense.
I got a recipe that I'm working on, and if it works well at the cook-off coming up in May 30th, then it may be bottled by football season.
That's awesome.
That's the goal, and we'll see how that does. But go to the website, click on it. There's only 3 places right now you can buy that hot sauce. Really 2, but 3. You can go to Thomas Kane's events or go to his shows. He's a musician. He played that song at the beginning of the show. But go to his events, and he is selling it at his merch table, or go to the QR code. That will go straight to my website, or go to his website, and that'll send you a link to my website to where you can get it. It's not in any stores yet, but we're going to push people to go to his shows and buy it. He may sign it for you. Well, he would sign it for you if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good connection that we've partnership that we've started, and that's going to be growing very, very soon.
It's exciting, brother.
It is. Also, Chase Tyler, his song will be at the end of this show. Louisiana is my home. There will be a wing cook-off Saturday, May 30th from 11 to 4 at Southern Boys in Hammond. $20 at the gate, and you can eat all the wings you want. It benefits TARC.
I promise you I'll make them regret that.
It benefits TARC, which is a organization that helps special needs kids. $20 at the gate. There's going to be 30 cook teams cooking from 11 to 4. I will be one of them. We're debuting our wing sauce at that event, and if it goes well, it will end up in a bottle on the shelf. But yes, right off the Albany exit in Hammond, not too far from here. I was there Tuesday talking to Kenyon and the boys.
How many teams they have involved? You know,
30.
30.
Well, there's 10 spots left.
Okay.
And they're hoping for 30.
Yeah.
I will be out there. Chase Tyler will be singing out there. But May 16th, which is Saturday, Chase will be at Boopaloo's with Junior LaCroix. Junior LaCroix is one of the best Zydeco bands around. Okay. Chase will be there too. They'll have crawfish at 2 and then music at 4. I was at Chase's show Friday. Shenandoah, Marty Rayburn played with Chase's band.
That's cool.
On Saturday or Friday, and that was a pretty cool
Just picked up with them playing?
Yeah, so it was an event where his band for the first hour just played. Marty was backstage.
Yeah.
His band just played.
Yeah.
It's a 90s country
thing.
So Chase and his whole band played 90s country for an hour.
That's cool.
Then Marty came on stage with Chase's band and sang 10 number 1 hits.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
With Marty.
Yeah.
And then Chase came back and finished the show, which was pretty cool.
Cool.
It was sold out, and we threw koozies out, and it was just a good time. But having friends that are local musicians, it's a pretty special atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
In this town, there's a lot of local. If you can't find anything to do, promise you there's live local music somewhere in this town.
Yeah.
There's a website, 225 Live Events. You can click on live music, and it will tell you every live music event going on right now in this town.
I'm getting plugged in today, you know that, brother? Because I'm always looking for something to do, and I love music.
If you go to, I'll show you after 225 Live Events, click on live music. I mean, it'll tell you comedy shows and all that stuff too, but click on live music. It will tell you every Mexican restaurant, every bar, the River Center. Yeah. Wherever live music is played in the area, it'll tell you who's playing, where they're playing, what time they're playing. So if you can't find live music in this town, you ain't looking. Yeah, right. And I'm a big fan. My circle is mostly live musicians. And it's cool supporting everybody and that little, like they say, Nashville's a home of music. Yeah. If you really are looking, Baton Rouge has that kind of talent. That's cool. And a lot of them are just local live music people playing, and I'm pretty close to a few of them. But Chase is a good one, and he'll be singing out at Southern Boys on May 30th for the cook-off. I will have a cook team there, so I will be there. For that one, but from Thomas to Chase to everybody else, thank you for your support and the events going on, from Lafitte's to OnlyPans to Southern Rollers to Hot Rod Belosa to Bayou Brothers to LP Hat Company and everyone else. We appreciate y'all. Next week we will be here with Brittany. Next week, we will be here with Coach Insminger's daughter. Oh, yeah. Brittany Rose Insminger Schaefer.
Another wonderful family there.
They are. Yeah. Her husband is a local live musician, Kendall Schaefer. Kendall's been on the show a couple times, and this is her turn. That's awesome, brother. She's a 100.7 The Tiger DJ.
Okay.
And she's going to tell us a little bit about how she got into music and what's it like being a former college football kid.
Yeah.
And then what's it like being a musician's wife?
Yeah.
it's a little different on both sides.
Yeah.
But she used to be known as Coach's daughter.
Right.
And now she's Kendall's wife.
That's right.
But we're going to bring her on as Brittany.
That's right. As it should be.
See about her life
Yeah.
and what got her to where she is now as I think it's the program. I don't technical term, program director for Tiger 100.7.
Okay.
But a lot of those at 100.7 where Gordy Rush is actually the president of that whole conglomerate. But he's been on the show too. But
love Gordy. Good guy.
Great dude.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine. But Brittany will be on next week. And then the 28th, Heather Smith from Heather Smith Outdoors. And Heather was actually on Naked and Afraid.
Oh, come on.
She won't be here in person. She lives in Houston.
You know who'll never be on Naked and Afraid?
She will be streaming with us. I met her at a couple events that we've gone to.
Yeah.
But she's a really cool individual, and hearing her story on how you go from living in Houston to being on a show like Naked and Afraid, Survivor, any of those type shows.
Naked and Afraid's crazy, man.
It is.
I've seen people get chewed up one too many times by bugs, and if you've ever spent time on the marsh and been eaten up by gnats, there's no way, man. I couldn't do it.
But June and July are wide open, and that schedule will be filled up quick because I've already been getting some calls lately.
Cool.
But we will. Thank you for coming on, and we will see y'all next week.
I come from Louisiana, from the banks of the Pontchartrain. I was born in an old houseboat in the eye of a hurricane. I've been all around this great big world, but no matter where I roam, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. People stop and ask me where it is that I come from. I tell them I am so down south, even the Mississippi's scared to run. Oh, from Bourbon Street to Baton Rouge, from Malibu to Thibodeau, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. We got cypress storms and Salisbury corn, jambalaya and fado, New Orleans blues and Mardi Gras too, and the bars they never close. Well, you can take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. Can take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is is my home.